What is going on? IPA fans out there? Yes, okay. It is picking up my audio this time around. So I just recorded for 22 minutes and they picked up none of my audio. So yeah, let's just do it. Yeah, this is our round one IPA playoffs match versus Josh. So it's going to be the matchup of the Joshes. So no matter who you pick, Josh will indeed win this playoff game. So yeah, as you can see his team on the bottom from left to right. It includes the way he picked up his Pokemon and where he put him on his free agent transactions list. Of course, I believe he only picked up Gillespie in free agency. Probably not though, but whatever. As you can see, he has a pretty bulky team and two pretty good Pokemon to stop sweeps, being Mimikyu and Ditto. Mimikyu being the bane of my existence and kind of why I lost last game. Sock was also a main reason because my Garchomp just got obliterated by an Ice Punch, and my Skarmory couldn't do much to it, so yeah, it was just no bueno. It was not good. So this time, me and my boy Hunter in particular, we got together and we made sure that this team was indestructible against his team, and yeah, we went from there. As long as I played it correctly, of course. As first Pokemon is the Skarmory. Originally, I had Taunt, which is why I have 44 speed for the Mandibuzz, but I took it off, so I probably could have put that into Spadef for Latios, but it's okay. It's okay. We have Stealth Rock because I want rocks in this game because it puts things in range of my Crawdon, as you'll see later, as well as Zygarde. Brave Bird is for Pokemon like the Venusaur, it will take a lot of damage. Whirlwind is for Pokemon like Celesteela if it wants to do funny business. I can just Whirlwind it away. Whirlwinding is good for Mimikyu as well because Mimikyu sucks. And Roost is for longevity. Not much more to say. It's enough defense to be bulky. 44 Spadef because why not? I had that left over. And 44 speed was because I wanted to outspeed Mandibuzz. But honestly, like I said, I didn't need it anymore. Could have put it into Spadef, but it's all good in the hood. Next is my Porygon 2, my special wall for the Latios. As long as I'm pretty healthy, the only way Latios could beat me if he like tricks me the choice specs, which even if he does, specs Tri Attack will not be much of a burden for this Pokemon as I went offline, but it's okay. I'm not doing anything in terms of internet, so it's all good. Porygon 2 does a pretty decent job on statusing his team. I can T-Wave a lot of things on his team. The only thing I really can't status is, with T-Wave at least, is like Lightning Rod Marowak, and that is it. Yeah, that's actually it, because he does not have an electric type on his team, which is always really nice. Hopefully my voice is being not too much of a stutter. Anyways, we have Recover for longevity, similar to Roost on the Skarmory, Tri Attack for stab, and Toxic for, being able to status that Autono, the Mandibuzz, and stuff like that. Next is Banded Zygarde because Banded Zygarde is Banded Zygarde. Banded Zygarde hits a lot of stuff on his team, such as the Skarmory, not Skarmory, Celesteela, aka better Skarmory, some can say. And, Banded Thousand Arrows will do a lot to Venusaur as well. Will do a lot to Mandibuzz if he's not too physically defensive. After Rocks, it does put Gliscopod in range of emergency exit, depending on his spread, which is always nice. And, we have Earthquake if we get rid of all his Levitators, E-Speed for priority, and Outrage if I want to click it, because why not? I most likely will never click Outrage though, because it's not needed. But it was a move to slap on there. I could have had Iron Tail for like Mimikyu, but there's no need. Next is the Gardevoir. This should have been enough speed to outspeed a Mimikyu, but instead it's only enough to outspeed base 95s. I didn't catch that, and I didn't really show my spread to Hunter when we were prepping, so he didn't really have the opportunity to catch it. So unfortunately, we will not be outspeeding Mimikyu, which is why I had Taunt, so I could prevent an SD in my face. And, hopefully it doesn't matter too much, but we do have Dual Stab and T-Bolt for said Celesteela, and I guess even Primarina, but yeah, no, it does more to Primarina than my Hyper Voice, so yeah. And we have enough special attack as needed. I think it's enough to, like, 2-hit KO a physically defensive Celesteela with ease, and yeah, not much more to say. Next is my Amoonguss. It's my sack to a Z-move Mimikyu if need be. It's also a pretty good check to Mimikyu if need be with Clear Smog and Spore. Toxic for fun stuff. And Giga Drain because I needed a grass move for Primarina so I can do some damage to it. Even though Clear Smog is super effective, it's not going to hit it hard. And plus Giga Drain was just a move I can slap on there because to be honest, Moongus just has a horrible matchup. Could have had HP Fire, but I really just did not feel like HP fire was needed and necessary because his Pokemon just doesn't do much to his walls to begin with. So I just put Giga Drain. And last, and certainly not least, is a set that was recommended to me by Mr. Hunter Z Infected himself. It took KOs his walls with Rocks Up, surprisingly enough, depending on their spreads, and that is the Choice Specs plus, Rash Crawdon, not Modest, because I do want my attack to be somewhat there, because if after Rocks, and if Disguise is broken by Skarmory, if it takes a Brave Bird, it's in range of Aqua Jet from a Crawdon, but if on minus attack, it doesn't put in range of Aqua Jet. Well, maybe it does, maybe it's just a roll, but with this, it's not a roll. So I felt like this was smart. Knockoff is for just utility if I know I'm not going to OHKO anything with my Specs moves. And the combination of water and dark coverage with a Specs will hit his team really, really hard. And I used to think this was base 95 special attack, it's base 90, I'm dumb. Because I've been telling people this whole time, man, base 95 Crawdon is strong, but no, it's only base 90, not base 95. So yeah, that's my bad to the people that have been seeing me put that. I'm just dumb. It's enough speed to outspeed a defensive Mega Venusaur almost no matter what, because I think this outspeed's like a 12 speed Mega Venusaur, I believe, or something like that. Maybe it's just 8 speed, I don't know. So something of that sort. I'm not really gonna check if it really does or not, but I knew it outsped a defensive Venusaur, so yeah. We're just gonna hop into the replay now. Oh shit. Well, now you know I won the game, but most people know I did, but you'll see how I did win. So yeah, let's just get right into the game. I'm gonna lead with my Skarmory, as I just want my rocks up. I thought he was gonna get spikes up on my side, but he actually doesn't. He just goes for liquidation. As now I'm just going to go for a Brave Bird because he has no flying resist on his team. Unless he goes into the Ditto and becomes my Skarmory, which is whatever. I took a KO the Latios on switching with a Brave Bird, which is nice. At this point, I'm just going to go into my P2 because I expect the Specs T-Bolt to head my way. I traced the Levitate, of course, because Latios can only have Levitate, as it does 24%, which, believe it or not, is Specs damage. It's just called P2 is a bulky ass Pokemon. As now, I'm just going to click T-Wave on the incoming switching because he has no T-Wave immunities since he did not bring the Alolan Marowak. Now I'm going to switch into my Skarmory, predicting a poison move, but he actually goes straight for Toxic, which is good for me because I get a free switch into my Skarm. And it was a good play on his part because he needs Porygon Toxic to really break it down with Latios, excuse me. I go for Brave Bird here. I should have gone for Whirlwind, predicting the switch out, but I just really wanted Brave Bird damage on the Mega Venusaur. As now he's going to get Rocks Up guaranteed, so to put some pressure, I'm going to go straight into my Banded Zygarde, and since I know he's going to be a Scarf Ditto to prevent Zygarde from sweeping if I was DD, I get a free 1,000 arrows off essentially. And he goes into the Venusaur. I thought this was going to do 38%. This does 32%. It does absolutely nothing. So I'm like, okay, time to fish for paras. As I hope for a para here, and I don't get a para. So now I'm going to go for a para again. As you'll see, I don't get a para, but he just chooses to go for Toxic this time around, which was interesting. I would have just kept going for Synthesis if I were him, but he chooses not to, as he's now going to switch into the Golisopod. As my 1,000 arrows, as you'll see, does put him exactly in range of emergency exits, which is always fantastic. So now he gets the free switch into Mimikyu, which is unfortunate because I don't want to stay in here, and he knows that, so he's going to get the freest of SDs of his life. Now, it was a free SD anyways because he outsped, and his Disguise would have been up, but now it's still up. But at this point, this is the biggest misplay of the game for me. I lived a +2 never-ending nightmare from this range. I don't know why. I thought I didn't, but I choose to go into Porygon 2, predicting the Z move. I now go into my Amoonguss. I'm going to take a Play Rough, and now I'm going to be in range of the Z move, which, you know, sucks. Not much more I can say. That really sucks. So yeah, Amoonguss is just going to drop. So now the Skarmory is going to have to come in and Whirlwind it because I don't want to Brave Bird it. Because 2 Shadow Claws if 1 crits will definitely kill me. So yeah. Or even just 2 good no, he would need a crit to kill me with the next one. So yeah, I Whirlwind him here. As I get in the Audino, which is sick because I want the Roost on my Skarmory. So now I'm going to go for the Roost here. As he goes for the Reflect, which is interesting because he is leftover, so it's only going to be 5 turns instead of 8. As now I'm going to switch into my Porygon 2 because I want to not only chase the Regenerator, but it also gives me a Recover if need be. I'm going to go for a Tri Attack here because I don't want the Venusaur to come in, as he reveals Magikarp. So now I've seen Reflect, Magikarp, Wish. I don't know if he has Protect or if he has a status move, but I'm going to stay in anyways. As he chooses to go for the Wish again, at this point I want to click Tri Attack because I don't want that Venusaur coming in. As it does attempt to come in, and since my Amoonguss is dead, none of my Pokemon allow it to get a free Wish up, so this was his only opportunity, as he fails to do so. So it was a fair play by him. I can't really give him any hate on it, as I'm just going to go into my Scarm, seeing that it probably just walls his Gliscor to eternity. As I take a Leech Life to 6%, which is pretty much leftovers recovery, which is always nice. Now I'm just going to take it out with the Brave Bird, and Gliscor is now dead, making it a 5-4 game. Now he's going to go into his, I believe his Audino actually. I thought he was going to go into Latios to force some pressure. I'm just going to go back into my, no, I'm just kidding, I Whirlwind because I don't want this thing standing on my face. As he gets Optimus Slime. I could have gone for the Whirlwind, but it doesn't matter because he does choose to go for Whirlwind himself, meaning I'm going to be blown away and something else is going to come in. I was hoping for Crawdaunt because it would force a lot of pressure on the rest of his Pokemon, but unfortunately I get the most passive thing on my team against the Skarmory, so now I'm forced to just go for a, do I go for recovery here? I don't, what did I go for here? No, I went for T-Wave, I remember, because I wanted to status something. If I could paralyze Ditto, that'd be awesome, but unfortunately I don't get to do that. But predicting him to go for Wish, I click the Toxic. He doesn't click Magikarp, thank goodness, because my Porygon 2 would be status with a Toxic otherwise, and that would be no bueno. Now I go into my Skarmory because I want to get a free recover off, as he actually goes straight into the Latios, meaning if I click T-Wave on the Audino, predicting the switch into this thing would be paralyzed, which would be awesome. And then at that point he would have no speedy Pokemon left except for like Ditto and Mimikyu, which is the other half of his team, but whatever. He goes for Psychic, and it does not 2-kill me, thank goodness. Psyshock, I don't think 2-killed me either from that range if he had it. I just go for a free recovery here because I want to be as healthy as possible, meaning I won't die to any 2 moves from Latios unless he crits one of them, or if he tricks me and goes from there. I now go into my Crawdaunt because Crawdaunt can finally force the offensive pressure I know it can do against the rest of his team. If he attempts to go into the Mimikyu, I break the disguise. If he stays in, I do 47%, which is insane considering this is an Audino. An Audino is a very bulky Pokemon. He's actually going to stay in here and continue to click Wish at right here. He went for the Reflector, thinking I was a physical Crawdaunt, which is, you know, always hilarious. As Pulse says, he makes a big misplay. Goes into the Latios on my Specs Dark Pulse and just dies. He thought I had about 55 special attack like my speed, but it turns out I'm base 90 special attack. Little did he know, which was unfortunate. It was unfortunate for him, but really he didn't have a switch in, so it didn't really matter. Now he gets SD. It's unfortunate because, you know, because of that I can't really you know, hopefully this is still picking up my audio. Is it? Yeah, it's picking up my audio. Anyways, yeah, he gets a free SD. I Whirlwind him out into the Audino. At this point, I'm just going to go for, do I go for Roost here? I'm going to find out right here. I don't really remember this play, to be honest. It was a passive play. Yeah, it was Roost. I didn't remember that much. As at this point, I'm just going to go for the Whirlwind. And yeah, he goes for the Whirlwind himself, meaning that he Scarf into it. As I go for Dark Pulse, and I absolutely blow him away. Don't know if crit mattered, but that was hilarious to see Skarmory just get OHKO by his Specs Dark Pulse from Crawdaunt. As he goes right back into this thing, and he gets another SD, which has been the most annoying thing of this entire game. Seeing this thing constantly go for SD is honestly daunting and annoying. As he goes for Shadow Claw, as I go for the Whirlwind, and at this point, Audino comes back in. It's going to be a little bit more of a couple passive plays because Skarmory nor Audino can break each other. But with a Toxic, I would definitely win 1v1. As he goes for the Reflect, which was interesting because I guess he's getting ready for the last Mon Mimikyu sweep, potentially. As he goes for the Healing Wish, which makes sense for why he clicked Reflect. Meaning if I went into the Gardevoir, none of this would have happened. So now there's a full health Mimikyu on my side once again, and that's, you know, horrible. As I go for the taunt here, and I remember I didn't run enough speed to outspeed a Mimikyu, and this is when it comes back to bite me. So now this game is potentially losable if I miss a T-Wave, as he goes for Shadow Claw and just blows me away. As now at this point, I have to go for a T-Wave and hope I hit, otherwise it's looking like a good game, folks. But as you can see, I am going to land a T-Wave, and at this point, there's nothing he can do to beat me. At least I don't think he can. As now I want to go into the Skarmory because you should know that I can't touch this Mimikyu, so he can just go for SDs for the rest of his life. But he just goes for a crit play rough, which, you know, sucks. Because a crit Shadow Claw will not kill me. But, you know, I go for Brave Bird as, you know, breaks the disguise, and as you'll see, he just goes for another SD, hashtag bars, as at this point I go for Brave Bird, and Brave Bird will actually put him in range of an Aqua Jet from my Crawdon, and since I know he's essentially max speed, it's not like he's max HP or anything like that, so I know Aqua Jet will 100% just kill this thing off from 30%, and since it's paralyzed, I do 100% outspeed this Pokemon, so yeah, I'm just going to knock him out, and that will be a 100% GG to my opponent, Josh. Very good game. Yeah. It was kind of dicey at the end with my Gardevoir not outspeeding, but it definitely worked out in the end, so it's okay. So yeah, that's all for me, and I'll see you next in my next video. It'll probably be it'll be my GPC video and or my round 2 IPA game versus Brian, since he did get a bye. He's my next opponent, so yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah, happy Pokemon, and yeah, au revoir, peace.